We were just playing along when the skulls started to talk. I was just going through the motions of another boring office day, when suddenly it all fell apart. I was working late night shift at a 24-hour deli, and I had just finished my closing duties when I saw him walking in out of the freezing rain. Our new regional manager. He was known around the office for being a bit of a stickler for the rules, but I never thought he was capable of something like this. He looked at me with an odd expression in his eyes and said we need to talk in a hushed tone, and led me to the storage room. I followed him hesitantly because I had a strange feeling in my stomach. The smell of old bread and mouldy cheese filled my nostrils as we entered a dimly lit room filled with stacks of dusty boxes and expired inventory. He pushed me against a shelf of old cans and bottles and said, "We know all about your little hacking scheme, the one where you used to bypass the security cameras to sneak into your co-workers' lunch money." Our eyes locked in a silent standoff as he began to explain that it was never just about the money. The sound of something wet when slapping inside my ear canal started to grow louder, and I felt my knees weak, the feeling of my deeds softening and melting into my throat sent a chill down my spine. I tried to speak, but my voice was frozen in my throat. The manager just smiled at me and said, "We've been watching you for a long time, and we know exactly what you've been doing." The air tasted like metallic rusted blood as I tried to break free from his grasp, but it was too late. He handed me a folder filled with documents and photos of my secret hacking exploits and the names of the people I used to compromise my co-workers, my bosses. My entire life was being turned upside down, and I was powerless to stop it. He leaned in close and whispered, "We know you're not who you think you are. You're not even a part of this company. You're just a pawn in a much larger game of corporate revenge and malicious compliance." The folder slipped from my hands, and I fell to my knees as the manager's words echoed in my mind. "I am not crazy. I am not crazy." I saw the eyes move. "I am not crazy." I was still trying to process the information, but it didn't matter. The folder was gone, and in its place was the eerie feeling that I was being watched. The manager's smile still lingered in my mind, but now it was twisted and sinister. Everyone started to leave the office, and my coworkers were whispering about me behind my back. I overheard one of them say, "She's not who she claims to be," and I realized that my entire identity had been compromised. I was no longer me. I was just a shell of a person living in a nightmare that was about to get a lot worse. I ran out of the office into the freezing rain, not knowing what to do or where to go, but I knew I had to get away from them before it was too late. The manager's words still echoing in my mind. "I'm not who I am. I'm not who I think I am. What am I?" I stumbled through the rain, not knowing where to go or what to do, but I knew I had to get away from them before it was too late. The sky was darkening and the wind was picking up as I walked down the street in a daze. My phone beeped in my pocket and I pulled it out to see a text message from an unknown number. "They know what you did. They know who you are." The message sent a chill down my spine as I realized I was running out of time.